Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are going to hopefully finish the game about digging a hole. So today let's go ahead and get started on where we last left off. It's been a while since I probably posted the video on this, but that's okay. Life is all good. We're going to kind of just have some fun with this. I mean, we are pretty far down here. Okay. Oh, we did get a little injured, but that's okay. Okay. There we go. So let's see here. Looks like we've got kind of a lot of happening here. We need to probably add some lights. So let's go ahead and add a light here just so we can kind of see. Oh, look at that. We got to do a little bit of dynamite. Okay, it looks like the further we go down, the more likely we're obviously going to find. Oh, look at that. It's a little bit darker down there. Ooh, we got a diamond. There we go. We'll probably still try to do some of the, like, getting rid of all the dirt kind of aspect to this. Oh, no. Ha! Well, that could have hurt. Oh, God. Oh, God. What did I do? I fell a lot further than I anticipated. Okay. Ooh, diamonds. Diamonds. Lots of platinum and diamonds here. How's our inventory looking? Okay, so we can still go quite a bit. Ooh, let's... Only reason why I'm doing this is so I can try to get some light showing up. So if I can kind of get this here, kind of like underneath a little bit, then I can... try and get... There we go. Oh, dear God. All right, let's, I guess we're going to just keep going down. Like I said, normally I probably would have attempted to go through and get rid of all the dirt and everything, but I think we're getting so close to the end, and it may be just kind of more worthwhile to kind of just go with the flow on this. Here we go. Okay, so lots of lava rock happening. Want the diamonds. Oh, okay, so we got batteries kind of low. Well, we're kind of down here, so I really don't want to cause myself a lot of issues getting up and out. Here we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and sell what we got here. Ooh, 5,800. Can't complain. Let's just get charged up and heal myself heal. It looks like we're so good on... You know, let's get a couple more lamps. Just to be on the safe side and then save. Alright. There we go. I'm going to try to make this hole just a little bit bigger, just to make it a bit easier to get out of. Obviously more of a personal preference to do that. Also, I think we'll just go ahead and throw the... That did not do... Excuse me, remotely what I had wanted it to do. So, we're good. You would think, you know, because we're obviously trying to look for a treasure chest. The fact that we're finding, like, all of this, like, rock, platinum, diamonds, gold, all of that kind of stuff, that it would be like, oh, hey, buddy, you probably don't need to look for a treasure chest, because you're making a ton of money just by doing this. But, I don't know, I guess maybe the treasure chest obviously has more in it, which is fine. Okay, good. I was like, I need to see. I need some light. Wow, it goes down pretty far here. Oh no, I injured a diamond. That's not good. Oh, there was an object detected. Oh, we're gonna have to go look for that. Oh me, oh my. Okay, so we're gonna have to go look for that object. I do not know where that was at, but we're gonna need to still do it. Save the game. Okay. Okay, so it sounded like it was around here, right? So let's do R there. Okay. Where is that object? This is kind of like one of the reasons I think I wanted to... We did get that notification, right? That there was an object detected. Was it further down? It goes further down. Let's see. Some side notes while I'm kind of just digging through this. Watched an interesting documentary the other day. Actually, well, two. One a little bit shorter than the other. Both of them on Netflix. I ended up watching that Jerry Springer documentary. You know, when I was younger, Jerry Springer was one of those things that was like everybody, when you were homesick, you watched Price is Right and Jerry Springer. And then, obviously, while you were laying in bed, soap operas and whatnot would come on. But it was pretty much, you know, kids would look forward to, that's the time I get to watch The Price is Right, and that's the time I get to watch Jerry Springer. And so it became kind of like this thing, and I mean, he definitely was like a cultural phenomenon at that time, because of the obscure things that like would go on that show, or the obscure people, all that kind of stuff. Like he would just find the weirdest elements of life. There's a documentary. It's about, I think it was like 2 episodes. I don't want to get that mixed up because I think the other documentary I watched was 3 episodes. But yeah, I watched it. It was really interesting because, you know, it kind of goes behind how they kind of created Jerry Springer in the sense of like the TV personality, and, you know, how the show kind of developed and who kind of helped kind of push it into that direction. Definitely enjoyed it. Definitely was worth the watch. I think a lot of people would get kind of into it because it's one of those things where you're just like, it's just kind of fascinating, right? It's, you know, here you are, you know, watching a documentary about a show you used to watch where, like, I mean, they would just get into fights on a daily basis in that show. Definitely recommend it. Jerry Springer documentary. Can't tell you the name. I could probably look it up in a little bit. But yeah, I definitely would recommend watching it if you get a chance. And then the other one I watched that I actually think was really kind of, it was a good documentary. It was creepy though, because society-wise, it was just, what the hell was that? Oh my god, I hurt myself on one of the little thingies. Yeah, it was a documentary about basically kid influencer, and it kind of focuses on a relatively singular kid influencer, and she, you know, the you know, how her mom kind of, you know, momagers her and her life kind of, and, you know, creates kind of like this one point in time, really during the pandemic, I feel like it was like all these kind of like influencers would build up like houses or groups that were like quote unquote built-in friend groups, and in this case they did that as well, and they called themselves a squad. I mean, we're talking, you know, these are kids, you know, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, and they're creating these storylines and stuff that, like, when I was that age, would not have been something I probably would have been, like, I don't think I would have been, like, kind of as involved as they were in those. Obviously, you know, and it's kind of interesting because it kind of definitely shows you the difference of, like, society-wise, like, what we're a lot more accepting of, but also the kind of disturbing side of kind of like social media. It was really, really good, and I really recommend it. I feel like it's on Netflix. I think it's in their top 10 list of what to watch. I have to look up the names for you guys, just so that way I can find out. Hold on, let me actually do that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to actually pause it. Okay. The documentary for Jerry Springer looks like it's called Jerry Springer Fights Camera Action. And it explores the rise and fall of the Jerry Springer Show. So definitely worth watching. And then the other documentary to watch is... it's called Bad Influence, The Dark Side of Kidfluencing. That one was really good too. And that, like I said, that's the one about, you know, being a kid influencer. And, you know, it's with the rise of like TikTok and obviously, ooh, I think we may have found the object. We're getting close to said object. Come on. And then it went away again. Hold up. How do you tease me like that? I don't think I got an object, did I? Anyway, so yeah, so it's about, you know, the girl's name is Piper, and it's her mom is, I guess, is named Tiffany. It was just fascinating because, you know, they basically, you know, it talks about, you know, she'd go on and do dances and stuff like that as a child, and then it kind of became this more like people would watch it to see like crush storylines and first kiss storylines, and you know, they're kids, children. And then, but it had a lot of interviews with like the parents and even some of the kids that were kind of involved in this group called The Squad, which I guess is similar to, I watched another thing, The Hype House or something like that. I guess it's like similar to that, only they necessarily don't live in the same environment, and, but it's very heavily like, hey, we have to release X amount of videos a day, or hey, we need to have these kind of storylines to, you know, oh my god, stay relevant, stay in the show, yada yada yada. And you would think, like, watching this kind of stuff, and this is the part that I kind of found interesting, is like their primary targeted audience, you would think, would be children, but the majority of the time the people watching are not. And it's just disturbing to know, like, these families, parents, kids are okay with, you know, I don't know, being watched and observed by like grown adults. If anybody's watched it, let me know what your thoughts are on it. I mean, I probably didn't eloquently talk about it. Ooh, money. Yes, please. But yeah, I just thought it was it's an interesting documentary, and it's just kind of creepy and a little bit scary, and it just kind of brings home a lot to the fact that, like, especially for me, like, I'm not a big social media person, which is weird because here I am, you know, filming gaming videos, but, you know, I don't have a need or a desire, I guess, to, like, influence other people. I kind of just do stuff for my own enjoyment purposes and for fun, and you know, so people can kind of just, you know, when they're doing their daily life of, you know, vacuuming or shopping or, you know, working from home, whatever, they, you know, have a little bit of entertainment that's, you know, somebody playing maybe a video game they would never play themselves. I mean, that's kind of what I do when I you know, watch YouTube and everything. I'm watching typically, you know, elements that I may not necessarily myself partake in. You know, video games or something like that, because, you know, it may not be something that I know I would be particularly good at playing. So, look at this. We're getting a lot. Getting back to where we kind of started here. Which is good. I don't know how deep this goes. Obviously, it goes pretty well. Yeah, I mean, I just would recommend it. If you have Netflix and you want something to kind of watch, it's definitely kind of worth the viewing. And if nothing else, I feel like it's also kind of a good way of just being like, hey, this is probably not healthy in a way. I mean, I don't know how healthy that type of life is. You know, I mean, I don't have any personal experience in it. I don't have kids myself, so, you know, I would never myself, like, allow my child to partake in social media and that kind of aspect. Especially when you watch it and you kind of see, like, some of the people that watch it, I would definitely be questioning, like, why are they watching kids' content? Why are they sending what they're sending? Why then you know, are the parents okay with, you know, sending certain elements or items to said individual who's watching? Yeah. I mean, it's just not, you know, to each their own. It's not something I would necessarily allow like my child. Oh my god, really? Okay, good. That I would allow my child to kind of have exposure to, or I would, you know, or at least I would like to think I wouldn't want my child to have that type of an exposure. I mean, I don't think you can protect from everything, but I feel like you can certainly make some attempts. So, but if you have seen it, I mean, I'd love to, you know, have a conversation about it. I think it's kind of a interesting documentary. I do enjoy kind of watching those kind of documentaries, because it's definitely a way of life that's like very different, very opposite to me, not only on, you know, how, you know, I grew up in the environment I grew up in, but just like how I don't know if I would, in that kind of scenario, be the same way. So, yeah, as I kind of rambled on there a little bit, but that's okay. You know, life is about rambling. If you can't ramble to people watching you play a video game, who can you ramble to? Yeah, so there's going to be some fun upcoming games that I'm going to be playing soon. And who knows, they may have already been, some may already be released as far as like the first episode or something along those lines before I'm even able to film it, as I'm filming this. I'm going to play a game called Schedule 1. It seems very different than anything I've ever played, although I do enjoy a good simulator. It's definitely more on the, not my normal environment type of a simulator, but seems fun and seems pretty popular right now. A lot of people are enjoying it, so why not give it a shot and see what I think of it. So yeah, I'm going to be playing that. I am going to be at some point busting out BioShock 2. That's on the docket to get played. I'm also going to play, I think, The Last of Us, but the first one. I don't have plans of ever playing the second one personally or on stream. I did attempt to play the second one. Did not enjoy it in the slightest bit. You know, controversy aside or whatever that's kind of associated with it, I personally was not enjoying the format of the story. Didn't enjoy the characters. I feel like in some ways damaged the first one in some eyes. Some people love it, and I don't disagree. I mean, I've seen people play the second one. I got it when it first came out. I played it probably for about the first... God, it probably took me about a week to get to the point where I was at, and that's because I couldn't play it every day. And just to kind of like let you guys know, the part I got to is when they get into Seattle. And I just kind of gave up because I wasn't having fun. I wasn't enjoying it. It didn't bring me joy. I just wasn't getting into it. You know, the first one was so good, and the story was so good, and you know, you just got so involved, and I don't know, the second story I just felt was a little bit lackluster in my opinion. I'm just not... I mean, I think I could have, you know, forgiven what occurred in it if I felt like the story had a level of... that the story was compelling. To me, it just wasn't compelling. It just didn't grab me. Although, I mean, some of the... I do enjoy a good, like, you know, zombie game in general, but... Yeah, so but I will be playing The Last of Us. I'm not going to call it part 1, because, like I said, I don't plan on playing part 2 anytime soon. I own it. Unfortunately, I own the digital. Doing it that way kind of ruined my like of digital on, you know, console. And now it sounds like they're getting rid of hard copies anyway. So on console, but that's beside the point. Yeah, I just, you know, I kind of just feel like at the end of the day... Ooh, I think we may have reached the bottom. Oh my god. What? What is happening, and who is this, and why do they exist? What the hell is that? What the hell? I got eaten by a mole? What? How do I get past the mole? You can't even fight it? So maybe that isn't. What the hell was that? Is it like is that like the only place? It is. This isn't fair. So how do you get past the mole? How do you... This isn't fair. Oh my god, there's so many fucking moles. Oh my god! What the fuck? Ugh! What the hell? Well, we found the treasure. Right? Right. Treasure. Find the treasure. That was ridiculous. And unfair. And there's no treasure. What the hell? Oh, I'm gonna get eaten by a mole again. I'm gonna get eaten by 3 moles. How is any of this fair? Am I dead? Oh my god. Old York P3L 68Y9 with a mole on it. Starting a new game, you can now hunt achievements displayed in your garage. You know what? I think we're good. I don't think we need to do an achievement mode. I don't know how many achievements I necessarily have. Let me take a look and see if I see something along those lines. So it looks like I only got 2 out of 10. So you know what? It could be that maybe in the future... We'll do an achievement version of the game. I'll, see if there's anything that we can do to kind of... This will delete your progress, yes. Let's just see what it looks like. I mean, I don't mind starting at the beginning. Here we go. Oh, I just got I am shovel 4,000 times. Moneymaker 20,000 and something else. Hold on. So I didn't do a long fall, so I do have to, I guess, do that. Wasted. So I guess I have to die 50 times. I did do a lot of shoveling. I did not do a lot of booming. I did make money. Don't know what special ore means. I have to do it in less than 30 minutes. And then stonemason. 30-minute one might be easy. I mean, because you're just going to basically go straight down. You know what? We'll do some achievement hunting, I think, at a later date. I don't think right now is the time to do it, but it would be kind of fun to do some of these, the long fall, the wasted, the time. I feel like I can do those probably in pretty easily. The boom, once I get the dynamite, just throw a bunch of dynamite down there. The special ore I'd have to kind of look up because I'm not 100% sure how that would necessarily work. But yeah, we'll plan to kind of, I think, do that another time, and kind of see what it's like to chase those achievements and to get this achieved out. Yeah. But outside of that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for dealing with some of my rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed the ending on that. It was a little surprising. Clearly, they've gone through, based off of what I saw with the different check marks, quite a few people. trying to dig for this treasure that apparently does not exist. So yeah, so let's go ahead and just, we'll call it for the day. If you guys have any questions or anything, please let me know. Otherwise, please like and subscribe.